Okay, time to tear apart step 3 now. So this one is made a decision to turn our will and our lives over to the care of God as we understood him. So, in other words, basically you can't make any decisions for yourself because your way of thinking is completely fucking useless. So you got to turn your will and the care of your life over to God and everything. So hey, again, Jesus, take the wheel. So let me forego my decision making ability and to be able to better my life and everything. I'm just gonna let some unseen, unknown, made up, invisible sky daddy make all the decisions for me. So to hell with finding a job to be able to support myself financially. I've got to turn things over to God as the star shows up again. So to hell with me making a decision to find a job so I can financially support myself. Oh, looks like I'm going to be homeless now because I can't pay my rent and everything. So because hey, look, I can't make decisions because God has to and everything. Oh hey, look, get actual professional help and actually get on with my life and uh, get my mental disorder of alcohol abuse or whatever straightened out, and so I get to the root cause using stuff again I keep mentioning smart recovery, using stuff that I can actually use to kind of deal with situations that arise. No, I just got to turn my will over to again some uh, basically nothing, and it's like, oh, but whatever, because I'm completely useless. I can't make any decisions. I'm just going to turn everything over to some made up make believe sky daddy. So I need to do that instead of making decisions. So now when it comes to actual physical health, I'm just gonna I'm gonna go into the convenience store got you, and oh, what do you know, I'm getting a bunch of Twinkies and Doritos and stuff, and I have that for breakfast, and then I end up getting a large pizza for lunch and everything. And then by the time I get home from work, if I am actually working, because hey, to hell with making a decision to be able to get a job to be able to financially support myself. I get home and then I binge on a whole bag of Oreos, and I end up gaining 300 pounds because I just continually eat like shit and everything. Because oh hey, look, I can't make the right decisions when it comes to nutrition. Oh, I can't make the right decisions on whether or not to go to the gym and actually take care of my physical health. Oh, I can't make decisions to go and seek professional help for my mental health. Oh no, I can't make decisions like that. And so here you can see you can set yourself up for pretty much again failure because hey, look, all my decision making is total trash, and I have to turn my will and my life over to the care of something that doesn't exist. So oh hey, look, I have to turn my will and life over to the care of the doorknob. Oh yeah, that's that's going to be real effective. Okay, so like I said, I use the analogies look, okay, I need to get a job to be able to to get a source of income to be able to financially support myself, so I can have a roof over my head, I can have food on the table, and clean water and electricity and basically get my basic needs met and everything. But with step 3, that's a big no-no because hey, look, all your best thinking got you here to AA. So and that's another way to put you down. Like, hey, look, here it is. You got to turn not only your will over to and care over to God. You kind of have to turn it over to us, the AA group and everything. And which and if you think about it, can set you up to be easily manipulated and abused. And so you necessarily want to get into a group that literally in this step that says, hey, look, we can basically you have to do whatever we say and everything, setting yourself up for a future failure, like I keep mentioning. So as you can see, we're for these first 3 steps are the current, pretty much the foundation of hey, look, you're completely powerless, you're completely hopeless, and you're completely worthless, and so you need us to be able to run your life for you. Because hey, like I said, your best thinking got you here and everything. So instead of oh, okay, here you have a drinking problem, let's start sorting things out. Okay, do you have some other mental disorder that led you to drink? Okay, so you have this issue, so X, Y, or Z issue. So let's now get to the root cause and like, okay, what sets that off? Okay, so these are the factors that set it off that leads you to the down to your alcohol use disorder or whatever. Okay, so now like you can see like now we can get the root cause of that, and then maybe you can find that job that works best for you, so you don't necessarily put yourself into situations where you're going to drink again. So you have that source of income to be able to support yourself. You're getting professional help for your mental health. You start, and then like you start going to the gym and eating healthy for your physical health, which is going to have like an indirect positive effect on your mental health. And then like that's going to tie in and kind of like get your with the professional help and like for the mental health aspect, going to the gym, eating healthy, and like for your physical aspect, that's going to in the long run it's going to help like in a sense stabilize your emotional health, because instead of like the in physics class, I'm sure most people remember like the little like setup with like the balls and like you would bounce one and it would bounce back and forth and everything. So think of it like a pendulum, like your emotions aren't bouncing back and forth way out here and everything. Your emotions are more like, okay, right in here. So like it's not of like, oh hey, I'm not going to have any emotions and be like a Buddhist monk and like be like totally emotionless and like not controlling them, and like in a sense like, oh okay, I feel angry, okay, here's a situation that like why I'm feeling angry, and not acting on them, and like so getting your emotional health in order, and then like also getting your like relationships in order. Yes, I know, you're sure you need so much attention. Yes. So and start improving your relationships, which is going to have like a positive effect on your overall health, because now you're starting to get into like reconnecting. Maybe like you destroyed all your relationships with like your family, and now you're starting to rebuild that. Maybe like you're starting to make new friends, getting into new social groups where you're getting into like hobbies and stuff like again, using like the Phoenix program with the community, you can get into that, like which would be a positive for you. You can start getting into like hobbies, like maybe you like were into like history, and like you start getting into like the history groups, and like you meet up with like you find some people that are into history, and you get together like once or twice a week, and you go over books and like go start discussing history, and like again you're building upon your success that you're building on with like your physical, mental, and emotional health and everything, instead of like putting yourself, in other words, you're putting yourself in the driver's seat, and you're not just like, oh, some invisible like unknown entity that like named God that doesn't exist or whatever. I'm gonna let him control everything and just like let everything happen. And so like oh look, I just got like emotionally abused in this AA group I was in. Nah, that's neither here or there. So like, it's my fault, and so now, again, circling back to like getting to like the first three steps with this complete, in a sense, the trifecta of setting yourself up to be abused, and like, and then you're the one to blame, and so you're being the victim blaming of, hey, look, it's your fault that you got into this group, and like you knew full well that like you were going to be taken advantage of and everything. So again, it's setting yourself up for basically future failure by following these steps instead of like following a path that's actually going to lead you to better success down the road. So when you're done like drinking and or abusing drugs or whatever, and you like finally get to the point where hey look, I need to get my shit in order, go find like stuff that's actually going to work, that's based in like science and psychology, like the ones I keep mentioning, like the Phoenix program, Smart Recovery, and go out and check my other videos like on stuff like the Rational Recovery, Reach Out Recovery, like and there's like a ton of stuff you can find online. So like if you're like me in an area that like doesn't necessarily have in-person meetings other than AA meetings, use the internet to find stuff online. And of course you do have to verify sources and everything, so like using .org, .gov, and .edu sources for websites and stuff is a great way to start and everything, because you're going to have a lot less opinion-based stuff and more factual-based information, so that way you can start basing your decisions on objective reality and being able to build upon like success. Like, oh hey, look, I just quit drinking, now I need to start getting things in order. Getting back to the pie chart, I need to start getting my relationships in order, my finances, my physical, emotional, and mental health. Start using stuff that's an objective reality, not some subjective thing that's just made up, like the good old AA Sky Daddy that doesn't exist and everything, and could quite possibly like punish you with the drunkenness is if you leave the group, and like, oh look, if you leave you're going to drink again, so like you need to get in this group and everything, and you need to stay in here, and because again, to complete these first three steps. First step is, hey, look, you're completely powerless. Step 2 is you're completely hopeless. And here, step 3 is you're completely worthless. So now that you're part of our group and you need us, because we don't need you and everything, now that you know full well that you're completely powerless, hopeless, and worthless, now you setting yourself up for future failure by being taken advantage of. And then in the subsequent steps, you'll see like how you have to turn around and start bringing people in. So like the adage of misery loves company. So going down this road of like kind of trying to tear apart the steps and telling people you're going to be a lot better served by stuff that's actually based on science and psychology, basically objective reality, instead of like the subjective reality that things like that AA are based on.